I'm excited to say that we will begin a new literacy unit about retelling. We will start to retell different events that happen in stories, so we get to read, yay! Let's begin with our DLO, our daily learning objective. Today I will identify characters and setting in a story. Now it's your turn to try and read along and repeat after me. Today I will identify characters and setting in a story. Let's talk about those. Identify. Just tell me what that means. First, we'll start with characters. Here's a little girl, a monster, and a bear wearing clothing. Characters are the people, animals, and creatures in a story. Now, when you read stories with your family at home, I want you to start looking for characters in those books. So a character, people, animals, and creatures. This is a person, this is a creature, and here's an animal. Characters are people, animals, and creatures in a story. The next item on our DLO talks about setting. The setting is where a story takes place. Look at this picture here. I see the sun, I see water, I see sand, I see some palm trees and a hammock. Where do you think this picture is at? It's at the beach, or might be by the ocean. So the setting is where and when it takes place. So where it is, it looks like the beach, and when, it looks like the middle of the day. It's not nighttime, it's daytime. I can tell because I see the sun. While we're reading these stories, I want you to think of a few different items. The characters, the setting, and then we're going to be retelling events in the story. Here's one more poster before we read our book, and it's called a 5-finger retell. So if you stick your thumb out, our thumb will represent characters. Who is in the story? People, creatures, and animals in the story. If you put up your pointer finger, that's the setting. When and where did it take place? Put up your middle finger, it says problem. What's the problem in the story? Something that could be wrong, something that could be bad, something that needs a solution. We need to fix the problem. Put up your ring finger. Events. It says BME. BME stands for beginning, middle, end. We'll dive more into that next week, but I want you to start thinking about it so at home when you're reading stories, you can start retelling the stories. Put up your pinky. Your pinky is the solution. So if there's a problem, we need to find a solution. And so hopefully all of our stories have solutions at the end. The first story we get to read today is one of my favorites. It's a classic. It's called The 3 Little Pigs. Now this book was mine when I was little, so it's kind of falling apart, but that's okay because all of the pages are in it and the pictures are really good and it's a good story. I'll also attach the link on the homework page to the Disney animated video of it because it's fun to watch it take place instead of just listening to it. So today we're reading The 3 Little Pigs. I want to talk about our book. There's some parts of the book we need to go over. The front of the book is called the front cover. I want you to say that, front cover. It's just the front of the book. If I turn it over, it's the back. It's called the back cover. Front cover, back cover. The covers keep the pages inside safe. The part that keeps the book together is called the spine. Just like you have a spine in your back, you can feel it. It keeps us up and straight, upright. That's what I was trying to say. And so the book, the spine keeps the book all together. Now let's read our story. The 3 Little Pigs. That's the name of the story. That's the title. I already see animals on there. I bet those are the characters. Here's the title again. This is called the title page. The 3 Little Pigs. I'll try and get a little closer. Once upon a time, there were 3 little pigs who went out into the big world to build their homes and seek their fortunes. The first little pig did not like to work at all. He quickly built himself a house of straw. So right away I see my characters. 1, 2, 3 little pigs. But there's someone down here, but it didn't mention them yet. Then off he danced down the road to see how his brothers were getting along. And as he danced, he sang, I built my house of straw, I built my house of hay, I toot my flute, I don't give a hoot, and I play around all day. So he is a character. Where is he at? What is the setting? He's walking down a path, maybe in the forest. The second little pig was building himself a house too. He did not like to work any better than his brother, so he decided to build a quick and easy house of sticks. Here's another character, and the setting is in the forest here, in his house. Soon it was finished. Soon it was finished too. It was not a very strong little house, but at least the work was done. Now the second little pig was free to do what he liked. What he liked to do was play his fiddle and dance. So while the first little pig tooted his flute, the second little pig sawed away on his fiddle, dancing as he played. As he danced, he sang, I built my house of sticks, I built my house of twigs. With a hey diddle diddle, I play on my fiddle, and I dance all kinds of jigs. Then off danced the two little pigs down the road together to see how their brother was getting along. Here are two characters, the pigs. The third little pig was a sober little pig. He was building a house too, but he was building his of bricks. He did not mind hard work. He wanted a stout little, strong little house. Oops, I read that wrong. He wanted a stout little, strong little house, for he knew that in the woods nearby there lived a big, bad wolf who liked nothing better than to catch little pigs and eat them up. So slap, slosh, slap, away he worked, laying bricks and smoothing mortar between them. He's working hard. Here's another character, another pig. Here's that big bad wolf. He mentioned it over here. This piggy knew that there's a big bad wolf that lives in the woods. This is another character. What is the setting? Where are they at? The woods. Ha ha ha, laughed the first little pig when he saw his brother hard at work. Ho ho ho, laughed the second little pig. Come down and play with us, he called. But the busy little pig did not pause. Slap, sloosh, slap went the bricks on mortar as he called down to them. I built my house of stones, I build my house of bricks. I have no chance to sing and dance, for work and play don't mix. Ho, 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 ha, 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 laughed the two lazy little pigs, dancing along to the tune of the fiddle and the flute. Here are our three little pigs, the two lazy ones and the hard-working one. They are our characters. You can laugh and dance and sing, their busy brother called after them. But I'll be safe and you'll be sorry when the wolf comes to your door. Ha, 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 ho, 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 laughed the two little pigs again, and they disappeared into the woods singing a merry tune. Where's the setting? Where are they at? The woods. Who's that? The big, bad wolf. Who's afraid of the big bad wolf? Big bad wolf, big bad wolf. Who's afraid of the big bad wolf? Tra-la-la-la-la. Just as the first pig reached his door, out of the woods popped the big bad wolf. The little pig squealed with fright and slammed the door. Little pig, let me come in, cried the wolf. Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin, said the little pig. Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in, roared the wolf. And he did. He blew the little straw house all to pieces. Away raced the little pig to his brother's house of sticks. No sooner was he in the door when knock, 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 there was the big, bad wolf. But of course the little pigs would not let him come in. Why would a pig be afraid of a big, bad wolf? because wolves like to eat pigs. "I'll fool those little pigs," chuckled the big bad wolf to himself when he said out loud, "These little pigs are too smart for me. I'm going home." He started off towards the deep woods, but he did not go far. He hid behind a big tree. Soon the door opened and the two little pigs peeked out. There was no wolf in sight. What's the setting? Where are they at? They're at the little pig's house. That's the setting. "Ha, ha, ha, ho, ho, ho," laughed the little pigs. "We fooled him." Then they danced around the room singing gaily. "Who's afraid of the big bad wolf? The big bad wolf, the big bad wolf. Who's afraid of the big bad wolf? Tra-la-la-la-la." Soon there came another knock at the door. It was the big bad wolf again, but he had covered himself with a sheepskin and was curled up in a big basket, looking like a little lamb. Here are our characters, the pigs. The setting is at their home. "Who's there?" called the second little pig. "I'm a poor little sheep with no place to sleep. Please open the door and let me in," said the big bad wolf in a sweet little voice. The little pig peeked through a crack of the door, and he could see the wolf's big black paws and large, sharp fangs. "Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin. You can't fool us with that sheepskin," said the second little pig. Here's our character, the big bad wolf. He's trying to disguise himself to get in. "Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in," cried the angry old wolf. So he huffed and he puffed and he puffed and he huffed and he blew the little twig house all to pieces. Away raced the two little pigs, straight to the third little pig's house of bricks. "Don't worry," said the third little pig to his two frightened little brothers. "You are safe here." Soon they were all singing gaily. This made the big bad wolf perfectly furious. That's like mad, furious. He's furious, he's mad. "Now by the hair of my chinny chin chin," he roared, "I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in." So the big bad wolf huffed and he puffed and he puffed and he huffed, but he could not blow down the little house of bricks. How could he get in? At last he thought of the chimney. So up he climbed, quietly. Then with a snarl, down he jumped, straight into a kettle of boiling water. With a yelp of pain, he sprang straight up the chimney again and raced away from the little house as fast as he could go. The three little pigs spent their time in the strong little brick house singing and dancing merrily, and the big bad wolf never came back again. So let's review. Characters are the people, animals, and creatures in the story. There were no people in the three little pigs. There were no creatures in the three little pigs, but there were animals. So the characters in the three little pigs were the three little pigs and who was the villain? The big bad wolf. Let's take a look at setting. Setting is where and when the story takes place. In our story, it was all during the daytime, and it was in the woods at the different homes of the pigs. That was the setting. So we'll go over this later, but we talked about characters today. We talked about settings. The problem was that wolf wanted to eat those piggies. The events were the piggies built their homes. The big bad wolf came and blew down the straw house and the stick house, but could not get into the brick house. And then at the end, he went down the chimney, fell in a kettle of water, and ran away and never came back. And the solution was that when he hit the kettle, it was so hot, he said, "I'm never coming back," and ran away. So at home, when you read stories, talk about characters and settings.